Hey there folks, today I'd like to take a casual peek into the Marvel Legends Infinite series Winter Soldier action figure set from Hasbro. This set is part of the second wave of the Captain America themed Marvel Legends subline, which is a part of the Mandroid Build-A-Figure collection. This set was first available in 2014 and sold at most mass retailers if you could find it, and sold for about $20. I got this set in 2014 when I found it at a Target. It was on sale at the time, and I ended up paying $17.99 for this set. Taking a closer peek at the Winter Soldier here in the packaging, you can see that this particular version of Winter Soldier represents the character in the live-action Captain America the Winter Soldier movie, which is going to be released in early April of 2014. And it's a pretty cool figure, and you can also see that it is surrounded by quite a few accessories, such as an extra head here, the Build-A-Figure part for Mandroid, which is the left leg it looks like, and also a big honkin' sniper rifle behind the figure there. The Winter Soldier is packaged in this Infinite Series style of packaging, but it's themed for Captain America. You can see the Captain America name up here. Actually, it's for the movie Captain America the Winter Soldier there. It's actually kind of cool. In the top corner, you have the Build-A-Figure collection logo and the particular Build-A-Figure that this is a part of, which is the Mandroid. And then you have here a logo for the Captain America theme, which is pretty cool. And on the sides of the packaging, you can see more thematic illustrations for Captain America there. And it's the same on this side here. Here we have the back of the package, simple photo of the figure. And in the top corner we have a very brief description of Winter Soldier. And at the bottom over here we have the Mandroid all put together there, and all the parts there. And then we have all of the figures here that are part of the Captain America theme of Marvel Legends Infinite series. The number 1 slot goes to Marvel Now Captain America, and then the second slot is a split slot of Agents of Hydra, specifically a Red Skull and then a Hydra agent there. And the third slot is another split slot which has Baron Zemo and an AIM soldier there. Number 4 slot goes to the movie version of Black Widow. And the number 5 slot is another movie Captain America. I believe this is the stealth suit there. And number 6 and final slot, well, sort of final slot, is the Winter Soldier. Now, there was also, in the first wave, an extra slot that wasn't part of the Build-A-Figure line, and that was for the WW2 version of Captain America. Now we'll be right back and have the contents of this set out of the packaging. Okay, we have all of the items out of the package, and we're going to go ahead and take a closer peek at each of these. And we'll start off with this here. And this is basically a pamphlet that was included showing you what parts are needed and from what figure sets the parts are from, where you can actually put the Mandroid Build-A-Figure together. It's kind of interesting because the Wave 2 Winter Soldier here is using a Wave 1 pamphlet. I think Hasbro just decided not to produce a second wave pamphlet, and you can tell because the names going down here on the right showing you the figure sets and the parts that are included to build a Mandroid. They show the first three here, the Captain America, the Agents of Hydra split slot, and the Soldiers of AIM split slot. They show you the parts included that you need to assemble Mandroid, yet the last three parts here all say coming fall of 2014. And they don't even indicate that it's either Winter Soldier, Black Widow, or Captain America in that stealth suit. So just a reuse of older material here, just to save costs, I guess. So not that big a deal. I wouldn't fault them for doing that. So, but just kind of interesting to note. But that's the pamphlet there. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Build-A-Figure part that came included with this Winter Soldier, and that's the left leg of the Mandroid. And actually, it doesn't show it here, but on the packaging it says it comes included with the right leg of Mandroid, but it's really the left leg, at least from the Mandroid's perspective. And taking a look at this Build-A-Figure part here, if it looks at all familiar, it's because it's a reuse. Actually, it's just a direct reuse of another Build-A-Figure part, and that was for the Ironmonger from the Iron Man Legends subline of Marvel Legends. And the only difference between the two is the material used. The one in the Ironmonger Build-A-Figure part used a nice reflective blue. Actually, I have it right here, and you can see the pieces compared to each other exactly the same. A leg, just a different material used here for the Ironmonger. It's got a nice sheen with this particular piece, while this is less stellar than the Ironmonger. The Mandroid is supposed to evoke a metallic, I guess regular dull metallic gray on there, which is not too bad. And I think it's just the blue of the Ironmonger piece is more for vanity purposes for that, but for the Mandroid it's more about function, so I guess they don't want to decorate it up too much. It's mainly going to be used in situations where it's needed. So, but pretty interesting reuse of parts for a Build-A-Figure. So that's the Build-A-Figure part for the Mandroid, the left leg, included with the Winter Soldier. Next thing we're going to go ahead and take a look at is the accessory for Winter Soldier, and this is a big honking gun. I think this is supposed to be a sniper rifle. I'm guessing. I'm not too sure. Looks like a sniper rifle to me, and I'm not sure if this is actually used in the movie yet. I haven't seen the movie as of this video, but we'll have to see when I do get to watch it if this is actually used. Seems kind of peculiar for the color scheme, red and black. If this is a sniper rifle, this really does stand out, and it just doesn't seem to blend in with the surroundings too well, and it's easily spottable. I don't know if that's intended in the movie or not, but pretty interesting. It's got nice sculpting detail though. You can see all the sculpting going into it. And this particular sniper rifle is made of a softer plastic. You can actually bend it here and there, especially at the barrel. And you don't want to bend it too much. It's real sensitive, and it can get easily warped. I could see these being warped in package, but it looks like mine turned out alright. It looks relatively straight. You do have to bend it a little bit to straighten it out some more, but I can just picture other sniper rifles being easily warped in package. But that's the sniper rifle there. And before we take a look at this last accessory piece, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the figure first. And that's the Winter Soldier. And I like this figure. There are some issues I do have with it. We'll get into that as we go along. But taking a look at Winter Soldier, it's a very interesting figure. and I guess it's supposed to represent the character in the movie, and it looks like it does, other than one issue I do have, and that's the paint or the casting color applied to this jacket that Winter Soldier wears. And at least from all of the pre-production photos or in-production photos in the movie of the Winter Soldier I've seen, the color of the jacket here doesn't seem to match the figure here. From what photos I've seen, the jacket that the Winter Soldier wears in the movie is a very dark color. It's not brown, it's almost the color of his pants here, where it's a very dark blue to almost black colored jacket. And this one here is a very light brown, and it has some nice washed detail here, especially here on the arm where it's a lot darker and looks very nice, but it doesn't seem to be too accurate from the photos I've seen in the movie. And maybe he does change his outfit during the course of the film. We'll have to wait and see until the movie is available for us to view. But I just find it interesting that it's a different shade than I expected. But other than that, it's actually quite nice. We'll actually go ahead and start off with the head sculpt here. And we have a Winter Soldier here that is masked and goggled, and looks pretty cool. It does remind me of the Goblin, the new Goblin in the Spider-Man films, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films. That reminds me of that. But it's pretty cool. It's got a nice combination of black and brown painted on there. It's very cool, and the goggles are nice and glossy, which is pretty nice. And the hair is actually sculpted very well. If you can see there, you got the locks of hair sculpted on there. It's very cool. It's painted brown or cast in brown. I don't know if there's some wash detail in it or not. It doesn't look like it, but it's still pretty nice on there. Now, this head is supposed to be swappable, and you basically just pull off the head. And mine's actually kind of tight, at least the other head that came with the figure set. This one here, the goggled head, was easy to remove, and you could see the figure there. But taking this alternate head is actually a little bit difficult. I have to do it off screen and really push it into the figure and to get it in there. At least the first time. Maybe it gets easier a little bit later on. But we have here the alternate head on the figure, and it's basically an unmasked Winter Soldier. And it's actually pretty interesting here. I've seen at least one other Winter Soldier set, and that particular figure set, the eyes on there were a little bit wonky on there, so I had this one to choose from. And this one is a little bit better, and it seems to be a little bit beady on there, but it's okay. It's a lot better than the other Winter Soldier set that I saw. But still, it's pretty decent on there. But what's interesting, and I've seen some pictures of the Winter Soldier unmasked on the interwebs, and you have this black shading going around the eyes and cheeks of the Winter Soldier. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's burn marks or what, but it's interesting in that it looks like the folks that are making the film are trying to pay homage to the comic Winter Soldier, and the comic Winter Soldier actually wears a domino mask, and especially like the previous person who the Winter Soldier used to be. I don't want to say here in the video, but it looks like the filmmakers added this, what looks like burn marks to me. I don't know what it is. It's supposed to be in the movie, but I guess it's supposed to be a homage to the domino mask that Winter Soldier wears in the comics. So that's kind of interesting, and it'll be interesting to find out what these marks are when we do watch the film. Now, pretty cool. Now, like I said earlier, the head on this one was a little difficult to put onto the peg, the bald peg there. And if you can hear it, it's pretty tight on there. And but I don't know if that's common with all Winter Soldier figure sets or not. But on this particular one, it's very tight. Hopefully it loosens up a little bit later on. But let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the figure. We looked at the torso earlier, at least the paint application on there. But there's some interesting things going on. You got the nice sculpting on here. It's very, very cool. And also nice paint application. Another issue I do have is the actual paint application between the actual torso and the arm here. That's supposed to be part of one piece, I think, on the torso jacket. The paint application is, at least on the wash, is not evenly applied. The arm, it looks like a wash was applied prior to assembling the figure. And you could tell right away because the main torso area is very little wash on here. So it's kind of interesting. I may apply a wash on it myself a little bit later to at least better match the torso and the arm there. But that's interesting. You can see some of the details on the jacket here. It's on the torso area. It's pretty cool. You got these straps here, button straps. That's supposed to again pay homage to the comic Winter Soldier there, which is pretty cool. There's a harness that the Winter Soldier wears on here, and it's got some unpainted buckles on and straps on this harness. What's kind of cool on this particular harness is that it's removable. It's buttoned in the back, so you can just pull that out open there, and actually remove it if you want to, which will make it easier for me when I apply a wash onto the torso. But it is actually removable. So there it is without the harness there. And you can see in the back how different the shade of brown is between the arm and the torso. And I'm going to really have to apply a wash on here to better match that. But that's kind of cool how that's actually removable on there. So we'll put it back onto the figure here. And it's not too difficult to put on. And the strap, the peg button on here fits well and fastens nicely there, so it's not too big of a problem there. So that's kind of cool. Next thing we'll take a look at is the buckle belt area. It's got it's a separate piece here made of unpainted dark brown plastic, which is even a different shade of brown than the torso and the arm on there. Is there paint detail on here? No, it's completely unpainted, which is unfortunate. Maybe the handle of this knife here is a little bit painted on there. I don't know if you can tell on there, but that knife is sculpted as part of the belt piece and the pouch piece here. That's all one piece, and unfortunately this is not removable on here. It looks like this was put on before the figure was finally assembled. So, which is unfortunate. It sits loosely, pretty decent on there, and you can see it lines up pretty well with the leg, although when you push the leg in it does tend to stick out a bit. But looking at some of the details, you can see some pouches there, pretty cool. The knife that's sculpted onto there, and there's probably a tool pack, maybe a magazine belt there, I'm not sure. Another pouch here, and there's a knife sculpted in there. It's not removable, unfortunately. What's interesting is that the handle of the blade here is very thin and very soft, and mine was bent in packaging, and I think that's going to be a common thing with most Winter Soldier figure sets on here. But you can bend it back, but it'll eventually warp back into its warped shape, which is unfortunate on there. Oh, I forgot to show some details on the robotic or cybernetic arm here, and It's pretty cool. It's got some nice detail, some panel lining detail on it. Very cool, very neat. And of course you have the Soviet star there. I'm not sure if it's going to be a Soviet star in the movie or not, but in the comics it is. But that's pretty neat. The application of the star is pretty well done on there. Nothing warped. Looks like it's in the proper place on the arm, so that's kind of cool. And you got a fingerless gloved hand there, which is pretty neat on there. It's got some nice detail on there. I don't know if you can see it there. Nice strap at the wrist, although that's sculpted as part of the arm and not part of the hand there. So, but that's still pretty interesting. Moving down to the legs here, we have some nice pants here tucked into his boots, and it's got some nice sculpted detail. You can see the bends and folds in the cloth there. Pretty cool. And you got some sculpted detail, some lining on there, which is pretty neat. I like it. And then the back of the pants there, pretty cool. We have boots here in unpainted brown there, very dark brown, which is pretty neat. I wish the brown here was this colored brown and had a wash applied, so maybe more like this color. But it's the same color as the belt and the harness there. And you can see some of the details on the boots here. Got some laces sculpted in there. Pretty nice on here. For articulation of this figure, the head is on a ball hinge joint, so you can bend the head downwards about that much. You can even bend the head slightly upwards with long hair there. It does run into the back of the neck, so it doesn't go too much upwards, but it does go up a little bit, so that's kind of nice. The head does go all the way around and does tilt side to side. On this head it is very tight on here, so that's nice. The arms go all the way around at the shoulder, and they do go out about that much and in, and the metallic armed here is very tight, at least on the hinge, and pushing it in and out is a bit rough. So you got to be careful you don't bend the rest of the arm when pushing the arm in there. The arm does go all the way around at the top of the bicep there. There are double hinges at the elbows, so you can bend the arm that far inwards and extend it about that much. The hands, which I originally thought were just swivel cuts, but they're not. They're hinged swivels, so you can turn the hand all the way around, as well as in and out. So the hinge is easily hidden with this strap on the glove on this hand, but even on this hand, you can see the hinge is not evident. It's actually tucked in, so that's kind of nice on there, and it doesn't really impede the hand inward and outward movement with the hinge tucked in that far. So that's kind of cool. There is a hinge at the mid-torso, allows you to bend the figure downwards about that much, and upwards, and doesn't really go that far back. I think the sculpt on here runs into the back of the figure, so that's kind of unfortunate. It doesn't bend as far back as I'd like. The torso does go all the way around at the waist, which is nice. Now the legs at the hip have, I believe, a ball socketed or ball hinge joint on there, so it allows the leg to go upwards about that much, down and back about that much, as well as out to the side about that much. And the top of the thigh has a swivel cut that allows you to rotate the leg all the way around. And there are double hinges at the knees, so you can bend the leg that far back and this far forward. Now, there are no cuts at the top of the boot. I thought that would have been something that would have been easily added, but they did not include that, which is unfortunate. So you're really dependent on this swivel cut for the rotation of the leg, and that's the only point where you can swivel it, which is unfortunate. And for the foot articulation, we have the now commonly used hinged pegged joint, where you can actually bend the foot downwards about that much, but due to the sculpt of the boot here, you really cannot bend the foot upwards, which is really unfortunate because it kind of limits some of the dynamic posing you could do with the figure if you could actually move the foot upwards a little bit or have a toe joint there. So, but that's unfortunate there. And there is also the swivel around the ankle, which also provides ankle pivot due to the peg going into the foot as opposed to going up the leg there. So it looks like Hasbro has officially started using that joint instead of the older joint style. So overall, this figure is, I think, a great figure, barring some paint issues or lack of, I should say, paint issues, and especially here on the torso where there really isn't a wash applied, and the questionable choice of color on there, why it's brown instead of blue or black on there. So, but it's still a decent overall movie figure, or at least a figure based off a movie, and I like it. It's nice that they include the alternate heads for a masked and unmasked version, instead of actually applying a separate mask piece there. So that's kind of cool. And of course, the Build-A-Figure part of the Mandroid is always nice. And what I think is a questionable weapon accessory here, I don't think this is going to be used in the movie, but again, I haven't seen it, so I don't know. What I just plan to do is outfit my Winter Soldier with another weapon accessory that I have in my accessory bin. But overall, it's a nice figure to have, especially if you're a fan of the Winter Soldier, as I am. And it's just pretty cool overall. This is my casual peek into the Marvel Legends Infinite series Winter Soldier action figure set. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.